So now here we are next with the calf raise, another important machine. I would say this machine should be there almost in every gym which is out there, which involves especially land sports, where there's so much of triple extension that happens and you want to have that force to go forward. Often neglected machine, something pretty safe, pretty easy to do, but often neglected. And specifically here, if we look at from a area point of view, somewhere in South Asia, where the calf development is maybe not as much compared to those who are from Asia, from China, or from maybe countries, such as Indonesia. This becomes even more important for those involved in sports which require a lot of quick movements. Tennis, badminton, almost every sport. Which sport doesn't require strong calves? Okay. The first point of contact for our body is down, which is the closest muscle to that area, your calf. Okay. So we have to look at it from a point of view of helping in propulsion. How does this machine help? Is it makes those muscles strong. What is to do and what is not to do is what we'll go through. Now what is to do? You want to obviously work the calf muscle going down and up. What's the range that your calf muscles can work on? Okay, so we're talking one about the gastrocnemius here, the big meaty part, which is divided into the medial head and the lateral head. And we're also talking about the soleus, which is underneath, okay, which just crosses, originates up here, not across the knee joint. Soleus will originate here, insert down into the same area, gets on, and here comes the Achilles tendon. But when it comes to these muscles, you want to be working in such a way that your gastrocnemius is working, and when you want to engage your soleus, you also need to know what to do. Now, how do we engage the gastrocnemius? Okay, how do we work the what's called the gastrocs? You make sure first and foremost in any exercise, working with athletes, this becomes a paramount thing to remember. Full range of motion, without a doubt. Okay, there's no doubt about this. You have to have full range, and then you need to make sure that it's the outer range and the middle and the inner range. Okay, so let's do this now just to get an idea of how this works. You set the machine, start with a lightweight, something which you are able to do comfortably rather than heavy. Get into position so that your head, your shoulder, your hip, ankle and knee are as much in line as in possible. Okay, go straight down, get full range and go full up. Okay, full down, full up. This exercise can be done without shoes, and it really makes it pretty effective if possible. Try to do it without shoes, but yes, contract, go down under control, up, go down under control. A great exercise done, which is also used as a protocol when people suffer and get back from Achilles tendon injuries. Okay, so you can make it 1 second up, 2 seconds down, 1 second up, 2 seconds down. Now variations of this, what can you do? You can do slightly with your toes turned outwards, heel goes down, heel comes up, heel goes down, heel comes up. Another variation slightly here, okay, heel goes down, heel comes up. Now why are these variations maybe important to do? It's simply because as you're playing, you don't know how your landing would be. It could be sometimes in this position, this. So if you're doing it from a point of view where your calf and your ankle is not in a straight line, ensure that the weight is not too high. Okay, make sure that the weight is such that if your toes are straight, you're at your heaviest. You can still try decently heavy here. This, because of the fact that you're twisting your knees into a position which is not most comfortable, try to keep the load in such a way that you are able to do that. Don't use your maximum weight while doing this. Okay. So one more variation now of this. If you want to work a bit more on the soleus, the bottom part, because the muscle doesn't originate from above the knee and it originates from here and inserts down, the variation is to keep your knee bent. Okay. If you have a separate seated calf raise where you sit and do, good, you can use that. If not, you can also do this by slightly bending the knees. So you take the gastrocnemius out, okay, you take the gastroc out of this and then you bend and you contract. Okay, bend, contract. So as you can see, my knees are slightly bent, which allows me also to use heavier weights because there is some amount of assistance from the quadriceps. okay? So you go straight down, up. But if we look at it in an ideal world, what would you want? As straight as possible, down, nice stretch, up, nice stretch, up. This really pumps the calves well. Calves important in almost every exercise out there, okay? Now, a variation of this, for those, if you have athletes who are decently strong enough and want to go beyond, you can do a single leg calf raise. 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? Same with the other leg. Now this of course becomes much harder. Range, you will notice, slightly reduces. When I go with 2 legs, you can see I can go till here. Single leg, I'm able to push till here. This last bit I'm not able to. If it's double, I get that excess, a little bit extra contractions. So these are points to sort of consider. Now what not to do in this, okay, very common, okay. Let's see, you take a lot of weight maybe, and then, or you end up doing it like this. So the bum is sticking out, okay, your knees are in, there's no alignment, and you're doing this, okay. One more thing which is done is sometimes this, okay, the hip is ahead and going up, okay. Sometimes again, one more thing to be done, lots of weight, okay, you take something which is very heavy, you can't probably lift as much, but what you'll do is this, okay, up. Now, is this a calf raise? Is there any load on the calf right now? Anything specifically on the Achilles tendon? Does it benefit? Not at all. If anything, you are just strengthening it in the inner range here, okay, where it's only contracting. It is not really getting into the outer range and stretching, okay. And simple thing, for most exercises, you want the outer range to be strong, not just the inner range, okay. So hope this clears any doubts about calves and how to use it, but extremely important muscle. First point of contact from the ground, okay, which is the last point of contact between, say, a racket or a glove, which is the last muscle which is closest, forearms. These two play a massive role in how you produce and then transfer it through a strong chain into the end part, which is your forearm, okay. So if these two you can work and keep them strong, you can more conveniently and efficiently use all that power that's produced from the body to throw a punch, to hit a smash, okay, whether it's to hit a forehand with tennis, any stroke, okay. So make sure that these two muscles are not neglected, and that's why next we'll be going on to working with the forearms. Let's look at how we can work that specifically if you have a machine which is easy to use. Thanks.